Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Lodgify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Hey!
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Steve. Oh my God, we need to start this remember Good Morning Vietnam? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Good morning.
Morning,
Yeah,
Vietnam.
I like it.
Woo. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon.
Yes,
Good
I'm
evening.
surprised that you made it. I actually sent Sarah a text message. I was a little nervous. If you
I
follow
should have
along,
sent you one, but I was like, I'm going to come in so hot today. There is going to be no doubt. What are we talking about? Well, for those that follow along on my Instagram stories, and if you don't, you should, because that's where the real show is happening.
yes.
All right. And if you're really lucky, you become part of the close friends. So anyway, so I flew home from Pennsylvania yesterday, and I was supposed to land at 11 p.m., which was already going to be a tight turnaround, not ideal, but when you are flying in from a regional airport, you have limited options. So I stuck with it, and due to some VIP movement that was happening at the Atlanta airport, a lot of flights got backed up. There were 40 flights ahead of us to depart. And guess what? The pilots ended up timing out. And what does that mean? That means we ended up waiting for new pilots, and I landed at 3 a.m. and I got home at 4 a.m.
What time is it for you right now?
It is 7 a.m.
Look at Sarah. 3 hours of sleep, high energy, ready to go. And who's the VIP holding up the whole line? Who was first in line there at that airport?
I heard that it was Air Force Two that was in there. So Kamala Harris, I think, was doing a little thing. I know. We know it's in the news. So yeah, but that is what that is. And as soon as I figured out that we were actually leaving, I passed out. So I got solid 4 hours. Came home, slept another 2. So I'm working on 6 hours. That's like I'm cooking with gas.
Good.
Yeah, right?
You're good. All right. Yeah. I don't feel that bad for you. 6 hours.
Oh, I don't feel that bad. No, you shouldn't feel that bad. It's okay. This is totally first world problems. Right.
Suzanne, good morning. We got Christopher.
Good morning. Yeah.
Here.
Where's everybody joining us from? Have you guys had nights like that? Well,
yeah.
No, that's
how many hours of sleep did you all get last night? Just put the number there.
Let's learn about everybody's sleep health.
Yeah, I got 6 too, but that's because I got to put everyone to sleep, and it takes me a while to get. I got young kids, busy.
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
A lot going on here, but I got to go to a lot of cool hotels this week to finish out this 50 hotels in 50 days.
So wait, have you actually
50 business days with holidays taken out? That's 50 days, so we're good.
You know what?
But 2 left. 2 hotels left.
Nobody else has done what you've done, and nobody can give you a hard time for it. You did amazing. So wait, have you actually filmed all 50 at this point?
I'm at 48. I got 2 left that I'm going to finish this week, and I'm done. And I learned a lot, and I got a lot of cool stuff coming out after it. But you know what it taught me?
What?
I had to edit my own videos, which I had never really done before, and it taught me how to do it really well. I got to see all different types of places, and we talk about all different kind of hotels, and every kind of hotel, big, small, boutique, mom, pop, professional, can offer cool things. No matter what size they are. And so I'm going to highlight a lot of that. So 2 more to go. And
2 more to go. This is awesome. I mean, there's so much, like you learned so much in doing this. And then you also educated all of us. So.
And cheering us on. We love it. That's right, Christopher. I never said 50 days in a row. I said in 50 days. Right.
Christopher, that is so true.
With holidays taken out.
And, birthdays.
Asterisks. It's for myself. It's the only pressure we put on ourselves. But you also have something cool that I think people should watch.
Yeah.
Things. Why don't you tell people what you just posted yesterday, the first of some many to come?
Oh, you're so sweet. So in case you missed it online yesterday, launched a new series, a video series that I shot with my good friend Anthony Melchiori, kind of the curators of travel, and we've partnered with Curator Hotels and Resorts Collection, and we started in Key West, and we featured 3 of their properties, as well as all of the cool things that you can do when you're in Key West, and just talked a lot about what not only the destination, but also you'll stay tuned on LinkedIn, because we'll also be sharing a lot about what Curator does as well. So if you're a boutique property, might be of interest for you to join them. But super excited because we've got like, I don't know, 8-9 weeks of content. So prepare to be sick of us. And I mean that in the best way possible.
Yes. So sweet. That's why you're going to get sick. It's going to be sick of sweetness.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I have to get your tips, because I told you I was going to go to Charleston, New Orleans.
Yes.
Just couldn't make it happen. Right. The prices were crazy on flights for last minute stuff. So we're going to make a road trip to the Keys. So I need some advice from you.
Oh my gosh.
We'll talk about that.
That's such a great option.
I think that's what we're going to do, because the kids, we realized we're so close. And I think only my daughter has been there. She's 8 years old. My son has never been. We're going to go down there.
You must have also taken my other piece of advice that I just shared.
Road trip.
For road trips. Yes, exactly. Family friendly. Oh my gosh. I love that I'm
Listen, you plan to travel. Inspirational. Influencer.
No. Oh, influencer. The original influencer, concierge. So that's exciting. So you're going to do the Florida Keys. I love that you're doing that. That's great. What an awesome option. It's so fun. There's a lot of things to do with the whole family there, and so much easier than, and honestly, and I say this loving travel, but those that might follow me closely might notice that I don't tend to travel a lot in the summertime, because the airports are just, it is just so different when you've got summer travelers. And so, I mean, it's busy. And I'm not saying like to forego going on trips, but it just, you have to be strategic about it.
I was just get flights. I was like, all right, we get last minute deals on flights. It doesn't really exist anymore. And then like, the travel for a family of 4 to any of these places was like 2,000 plus. To just get there. And I was like, no, let's use that money. We'll spend it at a great place, and we'll make something fun happen. So anyhow,
awesome.
A lot of fun stuff going on for us, but we got a great show to go into.
Yeah, we do.
Got a lot of great topics to cover.
Show do. All
right.
Why
don't we get started to get us kicked off here?
Okay. All right. Perfect. So this was interesting. The state of hotel guest satisfaction in 2024. So this is the 28th annual JD Power 2024 North America Hotel Guest Satisfaction Index. Oh my gosh, that's so many words. Mouthful. That is a mouthful. They do this study every year. This is the 28th annual one. And basically what they were finding is that like hotels are paying record high prices for hotels stays, which we know. So, so according to the report, hotel rooms had an average daily rate of $158.45 in May of 2024. This is the second highest per month ever reported, just behind $159.01. Oh my gosh, reported in October 2023. But basically, what they found is that that hotel guests are taking fewer trips on average, but they're staying a little bit longer. And so, and then they're also kind of feeling that most hotels are not necessarily meeting their expectations, because we're having this struggle with value for the cost of things. What were you seeing in this?
Yeah. So what I like seeing is that people are spending that money in luxury hotels. So the luxury hotels, they're getting that satisfaction. And I think the luxury hotels have done a good job of keeping the customer service up. They still have people and concierge, and they're not putting everything automated like a lot of the entry-level hotels, we'd say, that are more bargain priced. And so I think we're finding that balance. Like, you need both to do really well. And it's interesting to see the brands that are staying at the top are always at the top, right? We see the Ritz-Carlton, the Waldorf Astorias of the world, the Four Seasons, because they train, they focus, they're on that all the time. But I also liked seeing that in the upper scale, we're starting to see some nice ones, which I do like. One of your favorites, Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts, was ranked highest in the upper upscale category.
So happy for them.
Followed by Kimpton, Hyatt Centric, and the Tapestry Collection by Hilton, which was nice to see. And then also what was in there was AC Hotels by Marriott, Best Western Premier, which I've never seen yet, and then Delta Hotels, which is a newer brand that's out there. They're actually going to be open up in Palm Beach or West Palm Beach. One of my friends is using that brand, which he's trying to get some traction on. So really good to see all the different levels, but people are really pushing. And I like seeing these names on there because they are hotels that are pushing that customer service.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I mean, this is not a surprise. I think you described it so perfectly, is that, again, we're seeing the luxury market obviously doing really well with that, but, sort of that mid-scale market or budget market, they're still paying relatively high prices, and like they want to make sure that they get their money's worth. So it's definitely an interesting time for that. I think, and so many markets are struggling in different ways, whether it's still having enough employees to.
Yep. Still a big shortage out there, and they're getting more creative now. They're getting faster, but there's still a ton of jobs open. I even look at my market. An old habit I have. I look at the jobs open every day.
Old habit.
When I had my staffing company, I would still look like who's on the move, like what jobs are open.
Yeah,
and there's a ton of jobs still open in South Florida and hotels, and it's not going to stop. So it was interesting. Like that price range of $158 is really a value hotel, right? Because that's the average. So most people are staying at that level. It's not outsized where they're going to these luxury hotels and dropping 500 a night, 600 up to thousands of thousands for suites. So really, I think that sweet spot is if you can be at that 158, 200 range and deliver a great service, you're going to have fans for a long time.
Yeah. You know what? That actually reminds me of another study that I read this week. I didn't put it in here. Maybe I'll share it for next week, but it was basically talking about the best options for family travel international. So it was international. And what they were doing is they were comparing value, obviously, because that's important when you're a family, and then safety. And it was, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what was number one. Whatever was number one, I was like, oh, interesting. I could see that, but it would be a tough sell for the US market to travel to. But the one that was probably that made the most sense for the US market was Munich, Germany. And I was just looking. Ooh, did I freeze? Sorry if I froze.
You're right.
I kind of see on my side. Okay. So yeah, it was just interesting to see also the prices, the average prices of hotel rooms around the world. And most of them were less than that. So we are more expensive than many, many other places. And not necessarily, ranked in the safest. We weren't, I don't think, part of that ranking, but very interesting to see. So we should maybe talk about that next week if we want.
And one last part on that is for our friends over on the Monday show of Good Morning Hospitality on the vacation rental. That's where you see a lot of value because you can pay this $158 and get a 3-bedroom home in some markets, or 2-bedroom, 2-bath suites in the urban places. So it's interesting to see the balance and what travelers are spending on. Yeah,
totally interesting. But like to see it. Okay, let's go on to our second topic here.
Let's do it.
AAA Four Diamond Award winners chosen. So I don't think I actually realized this. Did you? Pretty much every month they're changing the list. I don't think I realized that. I don't know what.
No, they're adding, but they're always adding people that come in, right? And so there's a lot of people who set goals this year of getting this 4 Diamond Award. So again, AAA does the diamonds and Forbes does the stars. And a AAA 4 Diamond hotel is a very good hotel. This is like your upper upscale. And just to get that stamp of approval, there's little things you have to do, because I know there's some hotels in Miami Beach now that have not had their diamonds and they haven't really tried to get. And now they're really focusing on getting diamonds versus stars and Michelin keys. So it's interesting to see this kind of come on our radar of doing the diamonds. And so if you're listening now, do you have any diamonds at your hotel? Let us know, because I see a lot of people celebrating getting them. But a lot of great hotels came on the list this time.
Yeah, there were a lot of good hotels. Before we get into the hotels, I love what they talk about. So they've got the 4 C's of the AAA diamonds. So that's cleanliness, comfort, cuisine, and consistency. And I think that's
I like
awesome.
that.
Yeah, I wanted to share that. That I thought was really cool because, whether you're at a property that you're actually vying for diamonds or not, I think that's something that we can all relate to. And so understanding and it's so easy to remember. So cleanliness, comfort, cuisine, and consistency. And where do you measure up with that? But why I also like this article is there are a couple properties that I know so well that made the list recently. One of them being the Westin Maui Resort in Kaanapali in Maui, and I was there in February. But there's the JW Marriott Dallas Arts District. The Arts District in Dallas is super cool. The Omni La Costa Resort in Carlsbad, not too far away. A friend of mine got married there. I was just so excited about this list because I knew so many of the different properties. And in general, look, everybody should be celebrated, whether you're in Kalamazoo, Michigan, the Radisson Plaza Hotel, Kalamazoo. Yes, congrats on becoming a Four Diamond property.
I think they need to clip that. They need to clip that and send it to them.
Yeah, we do.
No, but it's great. I love seeing it. And I like the 4 C's that you mentioned. That's really good to see. Just stay consistent and being clean, comfortable, and having great food, and you're good to go.
Yeah, totally. So moving on to our next topic here. I thought this was neat, and I cannot wait to hear your side on this. So Super 8 by Wyndham, they are doing a promotion. They are turning back the clock by offering a $8.88 room rate promotion. So in celebration of their 50th birthday, Super 8, America's iconic roadside hotel brand, is basically giving guests a chance to book a room this summer at the same rate that they charged in 1974. First of all, 1974 was 50 years ago. That's bananas. So that's $8.88 plus tax. For those that haven't necessarily been at a Super 8 in recent times, they've actually recently done sort of a fresh modern makeover. So fun way to kind of take advantage of that rate while experience their new modern makeover that they've got going on.
I like it. And so I was looking at it to see how it works.
Yes.
Right?
How does it work?
Costs have changed since the 1970s. A great stay is timeless, especially at Super 8. For limited time, we're bringing back our historic $8.88 room rate. And here's how to get yours. And it has a whole thing going on here. But it starts on August 8th at 8 a.m. So that's when you can go on their website and see if you book. So it looks like they got a limited amount. Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, they got to do that.
But it's fun to see like how they're bringing this back, and I love this kind of stuff. I think it's great headlines. It connects to the history of the hotel. They have a whole thing on their website here.
It's awesome.
So we'll share it in the comments after that. You can take a look at it. But I love when hotels do this. I like to see it with food and beverage. Like you see behind me, if you're watching this, you see some menus behind me. This Wolfie's one above my head is from 1954, and I love just seeing like what people were eating and the prices. And I collect a lot of these things. So for me, a lot of fun to see those.
It is cool to see. And it's interesting that you even say that, because that actually reminds me. So I was in Pennsylvania yesterday, and this is my quick sidetrack. My grandmother turned 95, and every year not every year, but for big birthdays, my aunt, I come from a family of photographers, and we've been taking many photos for generations. Big surprise. And, but what's so wonderful is for big birthdays, we basically put together like a photo book, and we add on to it. And everything from like there's stats in there, everything from like what was like the popular song in the year that you were born to what people were like watching at the movies, all of that sort of stuff. And it's so great to see that history. So love when a hotel can tie that in, because by the way, 50 years ago is not that long ago, but yet so much has changed. And it's so fun to be able to bring a little bit of that history to newer travelers and experience that. So sorry, my little segue, but tied it back in.
I love the history. And just as you're doing, I got to see it here. So sales will be fulfilled in the form of 1,500 Wyndham reward points. So you have to be a Wyndham Rewards member to be able to qualify. And you have to have the points in there to be able to get the rate. So yes, $8.88, but you still got to have the points to be able to do it. So I'm curious to see how it goes, but I love just the story and the tie-in that they've got. And they're doing it for 888 room nights.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's very cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, put that on your radar in case you want to check it out. Oh, you've got a road trip coming up now. Maybe you'll
I got to look for a Super 8. I don't know.
Maybe one night.
Is there a Super 8 in the Keys? Maybe there will be.
Maybe we're on the way. I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on in the world of travel. This is huge. Southwest Airlines. We know them. What are they famous for? They are famous for their open seating. That is why people fly Southwest. They're also known for they have excellent customer service. They have a lot of personality with their employees. Always a big fan of that. But most recently, they have decided that they are going to be putting, and I don't remember if I see where, but they are actually going to be getting rid of their open seating plan or their option, which is so much a part of their identity. The pushback I have seen online with this has been huge. But why are they? The key thing that is so much a part of their identity, why would they change that? And they're changing it basically because of economics. They don't have a higher end product to sell. I mean, they've got like a little bit of that like business. It's like you're just paying to like board first, but like they don't have a proper business class and they're losing out on a lot of
revenue.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Revenue with that. So
yeah, it's just kind of sad to see because I remember Herb Keller, who was the leader of the company for so many years, for 50 years, who really built that image of like, this is a flight that's fun. It was kind of remind like Virgin a little bit. Like, this is a fun place. Yeah. Everyone is equal. There is no class division here on this plane. Anyone can pick where they want to sit.
Yeah.
And that was what made them so popular and such a great airline for a long time. But things change. And then I see Christopher giving us a little stat here, which we have to check. That Southwest claims that 80% of their customers don't like the open seating policy. I didn't like it because I felt like you'd like rush and find your seat. Like at least, if they're all the same seats, great. But I understand what they need to do in a business now. It's so expensive just to run a business. How do you do it?
Yeah. Well, and Jim was just saying here, he's like the only reason why he loves Southwest is for their open seating. I mean, that's the whole thing. It is so much a part of their identity. And then I don't know if we shared the comment that Chris said just before that. He said he feels like changing that will set Southwest apart, now making them just like another airline. And it's true. So like as a business, like how can they keep such a critical part? I honestly, if they actually go through with this, because they're still going to have to go through with it. If they actually I think that they're going to get personally so much pushback that they won't go through with it. But if they do go through with it, I feel like they might go back to this way and maybe just try and figure out another way of charging people more.
I think to survive is what they said. Investors and analysts say that the company had little choice but to evolve. The shares have lost nearly half their value in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's hard to run an airline. I get it, but I just wish there was a better way to do things. And so when I was telling you I was looking for a flight, I went through all the different kind of like the Spirits and the Frontiers. And I was just looking at like, all right, give me the cheapest flight where I need to go. I was like, all right, great. It says $100. Love it. Go to get on there. $100. You want to bring a bag? $50. You want to pick seats so your family can sit next together? It's $50 per seat that you select. And all of a sudden I'm like, man, I wish Delta would fly here because it comes out to actually more expensive than me flying on Delta with everything included. So it's so tricky now to see what's going on out there on airlines. That's why they got to figure something out because not everyone loves flying.
Yeah, no, they don't. And I mean, it is tricky. I mean, and you brought up such a great point is that these other brands, and I will say Southwest is pretty good for not doing that because that's the whole thing. Everybody can bring, you get, is it 2 free checked bags or at least one? I forget what it is off the top of my head. I don't fly them all that often, but you get free checked bag. Like you don't have, they don't nickel and dime. But yeah, it is going to show that like, they have to maybe reevaluate what they're doing, but we'll see. And I get it. There are some people that were saying in the comments that they don't like the open seating, but like, that's what you're getting. Like that is like, okay, you do that with Southwest and then you have a strategy for it. And like, there's a thing with it. I mean, I don't love it.
2 checked bags. And so did Suzanne. So 2 checked bags. Yes. 2 free checks from Jim. So people know Southwest very well. I guess I never flew Southwest. I wasn't really down here in Miami.
And you get like, I think a free drink. If not, maybe not on all flights, but maybe you have to pay for a little bit more for that. But like, no, and they're fun.
Yeah. You see, we need more of that. Let's start our own airline. How do we get a plane?
Another big kudos to Southwest. I will say this is when all the other airlines were like still like prior to the pandemic, when they were all charging, a change fee, $200 to change and this and that, Southwest was not doing that. And that was one of the things I loved being able to do with Southwest, is that they were far more flexible about changing flights before everybody became flexible changing flights. So yeah, there's something to it, but we'll see. We'll see how they end up navigating this. All right. This is interesting. Gen Alpha. Oh my gosh. Gen Alpha. And I wanted to hear your thoughts on this particularly because you got some Gen Alphas in the house.
I do.
Gen Alpha. So basically, to give you an idea, from age 0 to 14 is Gen Alpha. Okay.
They are 2010 to 2024. So if you're born 2010 to 2024, we can't do math. That's where we're at.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. That's fine. They are already having outsized impact on travel planning. So more than a few parents out there are going to be, surprised by this, but basically Gen Alpha, they're having a significant and growing impact on travel decisions of their family. Now, obviously, they're young to be making the sole decisions, but it seems that a lot of parents are actually asking their kids for their opinion. So what are you seeing with this? And also, like, tell us what's going on. Tell us what happens in your household. Do you actually ask your kids?
Yes, I'll give them some options.
Yes.
So my kids are 8 and 6 now.
Okay.
The
right
8-year-old, right? Daughter, 6-year-old will go. He just wants to go to Universal Studios or Disney all the time if he could choose, right? Okay. But we give options. Would you rather, like when we were going to Charleston, New Orleans, what would you rather have? Would you rather have beignets in this restaurant and show them kind of a walkthrough of the video? Yeah. Or would you rather be in Charleston and try the kids menu at Husk? Or would you like to, do different things and kind of get their vibe to see what they would like better? Because when you do travel with kids, I want them to buy in because they can feel like they had a planning of the trip and they can maybe go see something cool. And so like when we took them to New York, they were so excited to see the Statue of Liberty that they learned about in school. Or when we went to Washington, D.C., they could see stuff that they learned about. Mm-hmm. And so it was cool to see those things. But, they are now they've been very lucky and blessed to stay in some great hotel rooms, right? And and some great places. And so now they think that's what travel is all the time. So that's why I want to take this on this road trip. Just to say, hey, let's show them what maybe not every place is the suite at, the Intercontinental at the Wharf in DC, right? Yeah. So I want them to see what real travel is too. That can be fun and adventurous. But we take their opinions. I don't decide on their opinions, but I want them to feel like they have some buy-in. Like what can we go see so they will enjoy it?
I mean, it makes, and that's the whole thing. You said the key word there, which is buy-in, because it's like, if they feel like they're part of it, they're going to have more fun, hopefully, like while they're there. And I mean, that's the whole point, is to make sure that they're engaging with it as well.
And Suzanne's mentioned something that which we did for our kids' birthdays. Hey, would you rather have a big birthday party that lasts 4 hours? Because kids' birthday parties are bananas right now in cost. Ooh. Or would you rather go travel somewhere? And they both picked to travel. So we did a little birthday party with like 1 or 2 friends, cake, like old school 1980s birthday party, right? And then we went traveling for their birthdays.
That's smart. I love that. And by the way, I think giving, kids options like that are so important. I mean, within reason, are important because it helps them with their decision-making skills. And then they can understand like weighing pros and cons. It's a great learning lesson.
Now they're watching the Olympics and they all want to go to Paris. So the kids are like, we want to go to Paris and see where Simone Biles is running around and seeing these things. So
we are going to have to take some time out to talk about the Olympics next week, because I'm not normally into watching the Olympics. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. They look like they are having so much fun over there. Also, the amount of Snoop Dogg content that I have consumed is out of control. I think he is my new, I was always a fan of him, but I feel like he's our mascot. The U.S. mascot.
Someone said he's the new Betty White, is what I saw for America.
So. Oh my gosh, national treasure. That's hilarious. But it's so fun. I mean,
I'll say we could talk about it, but I would say one thing. We watched the opening ceremonies. It's exciting to watch the opening ceremonies with the kids and show them what's going on. And it was
Did you not like that?
Strange conversations I had to have with an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. And then I went back on YouTube and showed them what I thought we were going to watch from the Beijing, the Chinese, Olympics in 2008. I showed them Brazil so they could see opening ceremonies that I thought we might see. very interesting. We'll leave it at that. I don't want any hate mail or content from anybody.
No, it's fine. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, I personally was not surprised. I mean, yeah, you've got a creative,
some interesting topics, yes, that we have to discuss, which I wasn't prepared for at the time.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, that's a really good point because my aunt had her nephew over, and he's 7, and so they're like, didn't really want him to be like seeing some of that stuff. So it is what that is. But that being said,
quickly, I'm watching all the athletes. I love watching it.
I'm so here for it, and I'm so here for Snoop Dogg. I'm so like he's like the dad going to all the sports teams, just like cheering everybody on. He's like, "You got this!" I'm like, oh my gosh! And his commentary
is great.
It's brilliant. It's
funny to me, right? He goes from "murder was the case they gave me" to now talking on the Olympics, and everybody loves him.
I love it. He has fully embraced grandpa mode, and I'm so here for it. Like Grandpa Snoop, yes, please. But him and Martha Stewart, that combination you would never think would be a thing, and it is. So I'm totally here for it.
It shows what it can do. They're highlighting the city beautifully. My kids, my wife, I'm ready to go. We're ready to go.
Yes. I love it. Okay. So that was our little bit on Gen Alpha travel, which I kind of love. I wanted to hear your thoughts on that. But why don't we go into our real-time recap segment?
Absolutely.
So what have you seen out there in the streets of hospitality?
I've been on the streets. I've been walking the streets.
Yeah, you have.
Sweating down here in Miami Beach. And I want to highlight a hotel that I've always liked, but I learned a lot more about by going in there, was the Standard Hotel in Miami Beach.
Yeah.
And I learned something new about what they're doing with their team members, which has made me really rethink how they have such good, they don't have high turnover. The reason why they allow their team to use the facilities. So like their team members are allowed to go and use the pool as one of their benefits with the guests. And they're allowed to have up to 2 drinks while they're there. Yeah. It's an adult only hotel. And so like you're allowed to use the pool. You can use the gym Monday through Thursday. You can get one for your manager or executive. For your executive, you get 1 spa treatment per month that you can choose and give a little recap of what it's like. And they encourage the team to live their best life. So if you're a DJ on the side and we need a DJ for the weekend, you can be the DJ this weekend. If you're an artist, when we need a new art piece for the hotel, you can create something and we'll put it up. And so I love seeing that because we talk about how many people are struggling to get employees. And I remember asking them, because I ran into the HR director when I was walking around the property. We had a coffee and she told us, no, we're good. Like, yeah, we need a couple here and there, but for the most part, we're doing great. And so it was great to see what they're doing. I was like shocked. I was like, you let them in the pool? Like how it's going to happen, right?
You
like,
let them in the pool.
Right. Like, that you're always trained that you go to the hotel. It's not where you hang out. Like you
don't sleep there. You don't hang out there. You do nothing there. You work there and that is it. You get out.
They said it's turned out great because they have a lot of membership too. And so they treat the guests really well. The guests know them. And I can see like where there might be some area to get in trouble, but for the most part, they said they have 0 issues. So congratulations to the Standard Hotel in Miami Beach.
Wow, that is awesome. Congrats. That's like, whew, that is cool.
Like I could use the gym as an executive, but it was like always like, hey, you try to go in the morning, don't be around, like it's for the guests kind of thing. This is more like, no, like you're part of it, right? And so it's a front desk agent can say to the people checking in, like, yeah, I've tried this sound bath healing. You should try it at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Like it's really good. I'll see you there. Right.
I'll see you there. I love it. That's so awesome. Well, shout out to them because that's cool. And I think when done right, it can be a wonderful perk. So
love some guardrails, but I think they did a great job.
Yeah, guardrails, totally. So I've had a lot of interesting interactions, but I'll do one. I actually did a story or a couple stories on this last week on my flight out to the East Coast. Now, keep in mind, it was on the heels of all the craziness of all the flights, like the shutdown, the technical shutdown that happened last weekend, so 2 weekends ago, and then the many days, the ripple effect. And I have status with Delta, which everybody knows. And they were like very quick to upgrade me. Fine, totally fine. And then on my flight out, there were a couple of hiccups in like the first flight from here to Atlanta, but really like not a big deal at all. They mixed up my drink with somebody else's drink. They went to trying to give me a white wine and I'm like, I did not order that. And she was like, yeah, you did. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I didn't really. And we were laughing about it. It was fun. And another like flight attendant came over and they were like, oh, this one's trying to cause trouble. She's trying to make sure everybody has a fun flight. So like it was fun. And then I think they forgot to make my meal. So then by the time they realized it, their in bringing out my meal would have been 20 minutes late. And they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, totally fine. Like, I can wait 20 minutes. I wasn't even supposed to be in first class. Like, I'm just happy to be here. And at the end, they came up and they're like, hey, you were just so cool about this. We had a couple of like snafus. We're just going to add an additional 5,000 miles into your account. And I'm like, well, thank you. I'm like, you did not have to do that at all. But what I loved and what I talked about is this idea that these companies give that ownership to their employees and their staff and wiggle room so that they are able to do something for a guest, whether they find out a guest is celebrating an anniversary, a birthday, or whatever, that the employees know that they can make the executive decision to send a glass of champagne or to do like a one category upgrade, whatever it is. I love seeing it when businesses do that. And this was a classic case of it. This guy did not have to give me that by any means. I wasn't even fazed, but the fact that he did, it just goes to show you that, you know, it goes a long way and it was nice. And okay, yeah, fine. I had delays last night, but like, what do? You know, and I already had such a great experience this last time. Last night, it was just like, we just got to lean into it.
You're a super fan. They're empowered. You're a super fan. You're talking about it now. You see?
Yeah.
It's great.
No, totally. So I don't know. That's you. But I would love to be a fly on the wall with Delta's training because they do a fantastic job with their training in general. So, but that'll be a story for another day. Oh yeah. Suzanne's saying, I love surprising a guest when something is a snafu and it makes the day of the guest. Totally. It did. It made my day. It was great. So why don't we go to our quote of the day before wrapping up? I know we went a little long today, but
it's all right. We got a great quote today. Under promise and over deliver by Toby Bloomberg.
Yeah. I think that's great.
I think it just is exactly what it is. Because there's so many times that, especially we're dealing with a couple of projects now that certain vendors will over promise certain things. And then you're like, man, this is not what you said it was going to be. Yeah. And we work with other vendors that say they're going to do something and then it comes out way better than we expected. That's a great feeling to have.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, I've worked with a couple of different companies that have kind of, you know, we've been kind of struggling with that too. And we're like, oh man, like it seemed like it was going to be like this. And so again, it's all about setting expectations. And it's managing those expectations, and managing expectations all start with how you set them. So you're setting the bar
right there.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, that is. Hold on.
Write it down.
Okay. Oh, clip it. Anyway. So there you go. But it's, you know, I love this quote because it really just reminds us so much of like, we're setting the tone. And so you might want to, I get it. People overpromise because they want the job. They want the gig. They want the, whatever it is, but then like, you got to deliver. And it's so interesting when people are hungrier for the opportunity than the actual opportunity itself.
That's part of the sales. That's where they like closing the deal, but not delivering the work.
No, you got to deliver. It's not about just closing deals. You got to deliver. Oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry. I feel very strong about that, but there you go. What a note to end the show on, guys.
Yeah, great show. Hopefully we over-delivered today.
Hopefully.
Right? Hopefully we over-delivered to all of you watching. I love seeing all the comments flying in today. Great interaction with you all. And if this was something valuable today, if you're on LinkedIn or you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to share this with somebody because I'm sure they would find some value in it too if you did.
Hopefully, yes, definitely. So love that. We try to bring that early morning energy. At least I did. My body does not know what time zone it is on, but
I brought some too, a little bit.
You did. You always do. You always bring the early. You are like so consistent. It's amazing. That's what we love about you.
Consistency. You see?
It is.
4 diamonds. It's clean in here. It's comfortable. I got some good food. We're ready. 4 diamonds.
Shine bright like a diamond. All right. And on that note, everybody go shine bright. Be your little diamonds. Be your little diamond selves wherever you are in the world.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Logify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.